Welcome everyone. Before starting, put the auto-generated YouTube subtitles in French or your mother tongue to get everything. And slow down or speed up the pace as needed. If you don't have time to watch it, just listen this video as a podcast while doing something else. Today, we're diving into something a little different. We're not giving away money, we're not doing any crazy challenges. But we are going to explore some seriously creepy stuff. Get ready to be spooked because today, we're counting down the top 10 most haunted places on Earth. We're talking about locations with real ghost stories, places where people have seen and heard things they can't explain. And don't worry, we're keeping it simple for all my international viewers. Whether you're a beginner at English or you've been speaking it your whole life, this video is for you. Now I've got my flashlight, I've got my ghost hunting gear, which is mostly just courage and a camera. So let's get this show on the road. Are you ready to be scared? Because I know I am. Let's jump right into our list with our first spooky location. Number 10, get ready. First up, we're heading over to England, to a place steeped in history, intrigue, and you guessed it, ghosts. I'm talking about the Tower of London. This isn't just some old castle, guys. This place has seen it all. Coronations, executions, imprisonment. It's been a royal residence, a treasury, even a zoo. And with all that history comes some seriously spooky stories. People have reported seeing all sorts of apparitions here, from former prisoners pacing their cells to guards making their rounds. But the most famous ghost? That would be Anne Boleyn, one of King Henry VIII's wives. She was executed right here at the Tower in 1536, and legend has it that her headless ghost still wanders the grounds, especially around the anniversary of her death. Spooky, right? And Anne Boleyn isn't the only royal ghost said to haunt the tower. There have been sightings of two young princes, rumored to have been murdered on the orders of their uncle, King Richard III. Visitors and staff alike have reported seeing the boys, often holding hands, in various parts of the tower. Some even claim to have seen a ghostly bear roaming the grounds, a nod to the tower's days as a royal zoo. Now I don't know about you, but the thought of maybe running into a headless queen or a couple of ghostly princes is enough to make my hair stand on end. But hey, we're just getting started. Let's move on to our next haunted location. Buckle up, because we're going to Hollywood. Next up on our list of the world's most haunted places is a spot that might look a little familiar, especially if you're a fan of horror movies. I'm talking about the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado. This grand old hotel, built way back in 1909, is more than just a pretty face. It's the very place that inspired Stephen King's iconic horror novel, The Shining. Yeah, The Shining, the one with the creepy twins, and the guy who goes crazy and tries to kill his family. King himself stayed here back in the 70s and had a seriously creepy experience. He was the only guest in the hotel, and as he wandered the empty halls, he started getting some seriously spooky vibes. That night, he had a vivid nightmare about a possessed fire hose chasing his young son through the hotel. And boom! The idea for The Shining was born. But the Stanley Hotel's haunted reputation goes way beyond inspiring a book, as terrifying as that book may be. Guests have reported all sorts of strange occurrences, lights flickering on and off, disembodied laughter echoing through the halls, and even the sound of children playing when there are no kids around. Some guests have even claimed to see the ghosts of the hotel's original owners, F.O. and Flora Stanley, still going about their business as if they never checked out. They say Flora can be heard playing her piano late at night, the ghostly melodies echoing through the empty halls. And some guests have reported seeing F.O. standing quietly in the background, keeping a watchful eye on his beloved hotel. So, if you ever find yourself in Colorado and looking for a spooky stay, you know where to go. Just don't say I didn't warn you. Alright guys, coming in at number 3, we have the Myrtles Plantation. This place is located in St. Francisville, Louisiana. And let me tell you, it's got a history. And when I say history, I mean a whole lot of creepy history. We're talking centuries of spooky events. This plantation was built back in 1796, and since then, it's been home to some seriously strange happenings. People have reported seeing mysterious figures, hearing unexplained noises, and even feeling cold spots. Some say these spooky occurrences are the result of a tragic past. See, the plantation has seen its fair share of tragedy over the years. We're talking about untimely deaths, mysterious illnesses, you name it. And you know what they say, wherever there's tragedy, there's bound to be a few restless spirits hanging around. So buckle up, 'cause we're about to dive into one of the most haunted plantations in America. One of the most famous ghosts at the Myrtles Plantation is Chloe. Legend has it that Chloe was a slave who worked in the house. She was caught eavesdropping and had her ear cut off. Chloe decided to get her revenge. She baked a cake laced with poison, but she accidentally poisoned the children. Chloe confessed and was hanged. But her story doesn't end there. Visitors report seeing a woman in an old-fashioned dress. Some claim to see a figure peering out from the windows. Could this be the ghost of Chloe, or are these sightings just tricks of the light? The Myrtles Plantation remains a chilling reminder that some stories never truly die. Coming in at number 4 is the Eastern State Penitentiary in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This place is not for the faint of heart. We're talking about a former prison, and not just any prison. This place was known for its harsh conditions and strict use of solitary confinement. Imagine being locked up in a tiny cell, completely isolated from the outside world. No human contact, no sunlight, just the sound of your own thoughts echoing in the silence. That was the reality for many inmates at Eastern State Penitentiary. The psychological toll of this type of confinement was immense. Inmates suffered from mental breakdowns, hallucinations, and even physical ailments. It's no wonder that many believe their tormented souls continue to haunt the prison to this day. Get ready, because we're about to step inside the cold, decaying walls of Eastern State Penitentiary, where the line between reality and the supernatural blurs with every step. Over the years, there have been countless reports of paranormal activity at Eastern State Penitentiary. Visitors and staff have witnessed shadowy figures lurking in the cell blocks, heard disembodied voices whispering in the corridors, and even felt icy cold spots in certain areas. One of the most well-known stories is that of Cell Block 12. This particular cell block is said to be a hotbed of paranormal activity. Visitors have reported feeling an overwhelming sense of dread, and have even witnessed faces appearing in the cell windows. And then there's the story of the ghostly guard who's often seen patrolling the prison yard. Some say he's still trying to maintain order, even in death. With so many stories of the unexplained, it's no wonder that Eastern State Penitentiary is considered one of the most haunted prisons in the world. Alright guys, get ready to set sail for our 5th most haunted location, the legendary Queen Mary, docked in Long Beach, California. This isn't just any ship, it's a floating city with a history as grand as its size. Back in the day, the Queen Mary was the epitome of luxury. We're talking first-class cabins, grand ballrooms, and even a swimming pool. It was the ultimate way to travel, carrying everyone from Hollywood stars to royalty. But behind the glitz and glamour, the Queen Mary holds a darker side. Over the years, it's been the site of several unexplained deaths and mysterious accidents. And you know what they say, where there's tragedy, there are bound to be a few lingering spirits. So prepare yourselves as we step aboard the Queen Mary, where the echoes of laughter and luxury mingle with the chilling whispers of the past. Now, the Queen Mary is home to a whole host of ghost stories. One of the most famous is the tale of Half-Hatch Harry. Legend has it that Harry was a young sailor who met a tragic end, crushed by a door in the ship's engine room. Visitors claim to hear banging noises near door 13, where Harry met his demise. Some even say they've seen a shadowy figure in greasy overalls wandering the halls. And that's not all. There's also the story of the White Lady, a beautiful woman in a flowing white gown who roams the first-class pool area. Some say she's the spirit of a passenger who died in a tragic accident, while others believe she's searching for her lost child. With so many ghost stories swirling around the decks of the Queen Mary, it's no wonder this ocean liner has earned its reputation as one of the most haunted places on Earth. Alright guys, the Winchester Mystery House. This place is like a real-life Scooby-Doo episode, only with fewer snacks and way more stairs. Seriously, this house has stairs that go nowhere, doors that open to walls and windows in the floor. Mrs. Winchester kept adding random stuff onto the house for decades. Legend has it she was haunted by ghosts of people killed by Winchester rifles. She believed constant building would confuse the spirits. Pretty wild, right? Whether you believe in ghosts or not, the Winchester Mystery House is just plain cool to visit. Now, I'm not saying I believe in ghosts, but some of the stories from this place will make you think twice. People have reported seeing strange shadows, hearing disembodied voices, and feeling cold spots. There are even reports of objects moving on their own. One of the creepiest stories is about the seance room. It's said that Mrs. Winchester used to hold seances in this room to communicate with the spirits. Visitors and staff claim to feel a strange presence in the room, like someone is watching them. I don't know about you, but I'd be out of there. Another spooky spot is the Grand Ballroom. It's this massive room with a beautiful hardwood floor, but legend has it that if you drop a bowling ball on the floor, it won't make a sound. Some say the spirits muffle the noise to prevent unwanted attention. Honestly, the Winchester Mystery House is just full of creepy stories and unexplained phenomena. It's definitely a must-see for anyone interested in the paranormal or just a good scare. Okay guys, get ready for this one. The Ancient Ram Inn in Gloucestershire, England. This place is old, like really old. We're talking built in 1145 old. Now you know a place that's been around that long has got to have some stories, and trust me, the Ancient Ram Inn does not disappoint. It's said to be built on a pagan burial ground, and over the centuries, it's been everything from an inn, obviously, to a court to a priest's residence. Can you imagine all the history soaked into the walls of this place? Now imagine being a fly on the wall for all those years. You'd see wars, plagues, celebrations, and everything in between. That's a lot of energy, a lot of emotions, and some say a lot of spirits that never left. The Ancient Ram Inn is considered one of the most haunted places in England, and when you hear about the things people have experienced there, you'll understand why. Now, this isn't your average, oh, I saw a light flicker kind of haunting. People who have stayed at the Ancient Ram Inn report being touched, scratched, and even dragged from their beds. There's one room in particular, the witch's room, where a woman was supposedly burned at the stake in the 1500s. Guests who have dared to stay in that room have reported feeling an intense, oppressive presence and even seeing the ghostly apparition of a woman in the corner. But the witch's room isn't the only place with activity. There's also the bishop's room, where a young boy is said to have died. Visitors have reported seeing the ghostly figure of a child and hearing the sound of children laughing in the hallways. Honestly, the Ancient Ram Inn is not for the faint of heart. But if you're brave enough to spend a night in this historic and haunted location, you're sure to have an experience you'll never forget. Alright guys, let's head over to Canada for this one. The Banff Springs Hotel in Alberta. Now, this isn't your run-of-the-mill haunted house. We're talking about a luxury resort, a castle in the mountains, a place where people go to relax and enjoy themselves. But behind the stunning views and five-star amenities lies a history filled with mystery and intrigue, because the Banff Springs Hotel has its fair share of ghost stories. Built back in 1888, The Banff Springs has seen its share of guests from celebrities to royalty, and just like any grand old hotel, it's collected a few permanent residents along the way. But these residents check out in a different way. We're talking about ghosts, people. The stories range from the tragic to the downright bizarre, and they've been captivating guests and locals alike for decades. Section 2. Ghostly Guests and Unexplained Events. One of the most famous stories is about a bride who died on her wedding day. She fell down the stairs and now roams the hotel, a ghostly figure in white. Then there's the story of Sam the bellman. He worked at the hotel in the 60s and 70s. People have reported seeing his ghost in his bellhop uniform. Guests have also reported unexplained noises and flickering lights. The Banff Springs Hotel is a fascinating place with a rich history and spooky tales. Yo, what's up everybody? It's your boy Mr. Beast, and we're back with another spooky location. This time, we're heading over to Japan, to a place called the Aokigahara Forest, also known as the Sea of Trees. This forest sits at the base of Mount Fuji and has some of the most beautiful and serene scenery you'll ever see. But don't let that fool you, because this place has a dark and mysterious past. We're talking about centuries of legends and ghost stories that'll make your spine tingle. This forest is shrouded in mist, and the trees are so thick and dense that it creates this eerie and almost silent atmosphere. You can barely hear any animals, and the sunlight struggles to reach the forest floor. It's like stepping into another world, and you can't shake off the feeling that you're being watched. Local legends say that the forest is haunted by the spirits of those who died there, and that their souls are trapped within the trees. Section 2. Lost Souls. Now, the Aokigahara Forest has a really sad history. Over the years, it's become associated with suicide, and there are stories of people getting lost in the woods and never finding their way out. Some people believe that the magnetic iron ore deposits in the area mess with compasses, making it easy to lose your way. Whether you believe that or not, it just adds another layer of creepiness to this already mysterious place. But listen guys, mental health is no joke. If you or someone you know is struggling, please reach out for help. There are resources available like the Suicide Prevention Lifeline that can provide support. Let's remember to be kind to one another and spread positivity, because you never know what someone else might be going through. Alright, now back to the haunted stuff. Alright guys, buckle up because this next location is the stuff of nightmares. We're talking about La Isla de las Muñecas, or the Island of the Dolls, located in the canals of Xochimilco, near Mexico City. This place is not your average tourist destination. Imagine thousands of decaying dolls, missing limbs and blank eyes, strung up on trees, walls, and literally every surface you can imagine. It's like something straight out of a horror movie. The story goes that a man named Don Julian Santana found a drowned girl in the canal and became haunted by her spirit. He started hanging up dolls, believing it would appease her soul and keep her away. Over time, the collection grew, and soon the entire island was covered in these creepy dolls. People say that the dolls are possessed by the spirits of dead children, and that they move their heads, limbs, and even whisper to each other. Now, Don Julian Santana died in 2001, but the island remains a popular destination for those brave enough to visit. Some people say they've seen the dolls move, while others claim to have heard whispers and giggles coming from the trees. Visitors often bring dolls as offerings, adding to the already massive collection. It's said that if you take a picture of a doll without asking its permission, you'll have bad luck. The Island of the Dolls is a chilling reminder of the power of grief, superstition, and the unknown. It's a place where the line between reality and the supernatural blurs, leaving visitors with a sense of unease long after they've left. Alright guys, That's it for our list of the top 10 most haunted places in the world. Thanks for sticking with us on this creepy adventure around the globe. We've seen some seriously haunted places, from ancient castles to abandoned prisons. We even braved the island of the dolls, and let me tell you, that place will stay with me for a while. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel for more awesome content. And let me know in the comments below which haunted place freaked you out the most. Until next time, stay curious, stay adventurous, and don't let the ghosts bite. Peace out. That's it. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video for another catching story.